Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video we'll be answering the question, what are the rules of possession for compound nouns? So compound nouns, as you may already know, are nouns made of two or more words that are put together. They form the possessive in an unusual way, but first of all let's revisit some compound nouns that you may or may not already know. Sister-in-law. That's legally when you get married, the sister within the family you're married to, so your partner's sister. It's important to note that for some of these compound nouns you'll notice they're hyphenated. A hyphen is a little dash between each of the words in it. Another hyphenated example is forget-me-nots. Another is toothbrush, but without a hyphen. The Department of Education stands as a compound noun, and maid of honour is another compound noun. A maid of honour is the chief bridesmaid at a wedding, and captain-in-chief is another one. That's a sailing example for you. For all compound nouns, not just the ones I've listed above, the possessive is formed by adding apostrophe s to the end, regardless of whether it is singular or plural of these compound nouns that we're considering. That is a very critical piece of information. So, let's look at this first example together. My brothers-in-law's hobbies involve extreme sports that frighten me. It is clear that I'm talking about more than one brother-in-law, and that their hobbies are the thing that frighten me. So it's their hobbies that's the possession that we're considering for these brothers-in-law. And the only clue I get that I'm dealing with a plural is the first word, brothers, has a plural within it. But that's not the general rule. We'll have to sometimes work it out based on the coherence of the whole sentence. Now let's say with this example, I'm clearly just dealing with a singular. My brother-in-law's training to be a doctor is relentless. I'm talking about one brother-in-law's training here, and I'm talking about how tough it is for him to be a doctor. So I'm training is becoming his possession. It's that business of training that's his, that's difficult. Let's move on. The maids of honour's hair looked incredible. So I'm talking about more than one bridesmaid looking amazing. And I formed the compound noun by maids having an S added to it. You'll notice so far every single example, whether singular or plural, is an apostrophe S. That is always the case whether I'm dealing with singular or plural for any compound noun that's possessive. Finally, the maid of honour's hair looked incredible. So I'm singularly pointing out that there's just one maid of honour and her hair looked incredible. And that's confirmed by the word maid being in its singular form. Now it's your turn. For each of the three sentences, consider if they're accurate and their use of the apostrophe is correct. Hit pause if you need thinking time. So, Colonels-in-Chief's meeting is a rare occasion and treat. So the plural is the number of colonels-in-chiefs that are meeting. That's the possession. Them meeting is a rare thing. The apostrophe S is in the correct place, just at the end of the word, though it's clear to us we're dealing with the plural because there's an S on the word colonels. Moving on. Forget-me-nots' fragrance is divine at this time of year. Now there's a clear error here because in any one word that's a possession, or possessive rather, we should only have one apostrophe, and we never place that apostrophe anywhere other than at the end of the word with an apostrophe S if we're dealing with a compound noun. So unfortunately, this is incorrect. It should instead say forget-me-nots with an apostrophe S at the end only. Finally, mothers-in-law's additional children are often terrified. This is correct. I'm dealing with many mothers-in-law and I'm thinking about their additional children. And this is used correctly because I've used the apostrophe S. Ultimately, with compound nouns, remember it's an apostrophe S, regardless of singular or plural, but please double check that your sentence makes sense and is clear enough that we can deduce and work out quite easily if you're talking about one compound noun or many throughout your sentence. That is a sure way of making certain your compound noun success is truly splendiferous. Why not subscribe to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar for all things English, literary and grammatical?